This will be my new intro. No, I'm just kidding. Letting you know I'm doing something a little different today. A beautiful truck came rolling through the parking lot here at Petro in the dark and caught my attention. Anytime you see a nice looking ride, you look at it. So I went and asked the guy if I could do video footage of it, and also interviewed him in the process at the end of the video. So I hope you enjoy, and something a little different for you. See you at the walk. Alright, so found me a new friend, kind of a look-alike. The boy's got it going on. Pull out and show this thing off. This is a Landstar truck, and that's a nice looking setup. He caught my attention because he's got the same color scheme, cream with the brown fenders. Look at that beautiful trailer. Get a good shot of this thing tomorrow in the daylight. That is a good looking ride, is it not? I love how he has all the color matching fenders. I might step up my game. Man, that is beautiful. Oh yeah. That is beautiful, isn't it? Did I get a shot of inside?
It's junky.
Look at that dash all lit up. There's my old low ramp ride over there. I'm gonna go back there and spot this guy. Okay, so we got Mr. Stan out here in his beautiful Freightliner. Going to harass him a little bit. So tell me, Mr. Stan, tell me a little bit about your truck, sir.
It's a 2016 Freightliner Coronado, 13-speed, 505 Detroit. Been having it since June 2015. bought it new in 2015. Been leased over at Landstar, second time around. Pretty good truck. I don't have any complaints with it.
Oh yeah, so it's been done you good service.
I don't drive fast. I'm a slow poker, so.
That's the way to do it right there.
Yeah.
So how many miles do you have on it?
346,000.
And no problems.
Made a dozer block about maybe 7 months ago, which was under warranty.
Right.
And a carrier bearing about a year ago.
Yeah.
That's just from using.
That's pretty good.
Jake braking so much. So.
Yeah.
Other than that, a lot of people have a problem with trucks that's got DEF on them.
Right.
I personally understand how it works. So
that's the secret, just knowing the truck.
No excessive idling, and always keep the DEF tank full. You shouldn't have any problems.
Right. Hopefully mine does good.
Yeah.
It's my first DEF truck. But I think the secret is also buying it new, and so you know its history and where it's been.
Yes.
And how to take care of it.
Yes.
Right.
Most guys don't actually add the cost of they figure riding a used truck down the road or a truck that's paid for. It can have its pros and its cons, but when you, I kind of wanted something new, something with a warranty, something at least I know it's going to crank. I know it's going to roll, and if anything happens, I go right to the dealership. Versus some mom and pop shops, you can get a used truck, but some of them, especially if you're out of state, they'll tear your pocketbook up because they know you're from out of state. So,
shops are.
I think any guy that's been out here past 10 years deserves something new.
Right.
He deserves to have something new. If you spend a lot of time in your truck, I mean, it's hard to. I told a guy a while ago, it's hard to, when you've had a rough week and you've made some money, but you're kind of tired, and you go inside a truck stop and you say, I'm gonna take a shower and grab something to eat, and then you go outside and you look at an ugly truck.
Right.
It's hard to get in there. It's hard to be motivated to go to that.
Right.
Versus, if you got it don't have to be a brand new truck, but just guys that don't keep their equipment up, just like you, when you go clean your truck up and you can't wait to get into the truck, because you look at, wow, I look pretty good. Plus DOT stay away from it.
Oh yeah.
They don't really harass you that much.
Right. Well, like you said, at the end of the day, it's all about how you feel about what you're doing.
And if you love what you do, you can always tell a lot about a driver by his appearance and his equipment. And if he don't care about those two things, then he's, see a lot of guys that drive 70, 75 all the time, and it's funny to me. I just look at them and say, I remember when I used to chase miles. I understand.
Right.
I don't care nothing about no miles. One guy's like, I do about 3,500 miles. It's like, you're probably tired as hell at the end of every week.
Yeah.
When all you have to do is just bump your rate up.
Right.
You bump your rate up.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah. If you're running for $1.30 a mile at 3,500 miles, hell, I could run at about 240, 245 and run half of what you ran.
Right.
Still made more money than you. By the time you finally finish your work week, I've been at home for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
So it's not about the miles. That's a company driver mentality.
Right.
It's miles. Owner operators, independent contractors, we want their rate per mile to be high.
Right.
Give us some decent miles on it. We can do the same.
Higher profit.
Plus, it's less wear and tear on your truck.
Oh yeah.
Less wear and tear on your trucks.
Now I got a lot of friends that's into the platform business.
Right.
Oversized, double drops. So they'll run 50,000 miles a year, make a lot more money than I do, but that's too much sitting for me. I like to roll. That's why I pull a box.
Right.
I can run 100,000 miles a year, and I'm happy doing that.
Right.
Versus running 50,000 miles a year, spending half my life in truck stop. I don't, so everybody's got their own.
Yeah, some guys I've done platform when I was dealing with ATS at points, and I got rained on, I got snowed on, and I thought about it, and I said, well, hell, I could almost run the same, same revenue if I just, over at Landstar, if you put their rate at $1.90 a mile. You can't be upset if only thing you're getting is $1.90 a mile.
Right.
To each his own. Some guys prefer platform, some guys prefer reefer, some guys prefer drive-in. I pull the drive-in, so I don't have a problem with it. Keep your overhead low.
Right.
Stay consistent. You can run short, just be consistent running short.
Right.
And most guys don't understand between March and December, at least the first, second week of December. That's when you need to be running, because the wintertime comes every year like clockwork. It doesn't miss. So we all know that the freight rates, decent freight rates, go above I-40 in the wintertime.
Right.
You know, they play the supply and demand game, you know. So
Right.
with me having fenders on my truck and my trailer, yeah, I've got snow chains in the truck, but they just decoration. I'm not gonna use them. You know.
Yeah, mess up them beautiful fenders.
Yeah, you know, generates revenue in the good seasons.
Right.
So when the wintertime comes, you can afford to take those shorter runs that keep you south and keep you out of the mess. I mean, and sometimes you're right in front of the storm. Sometimes it's right behind you.
Yeah.
I've had that happen a lot of times. You know?
Right.
With you being from Tennessee, I'm from Texas, so we understand it. You know.
Right. Yeah.
And what guys need to understand is that the economy does not determine freight rates. Truck volume determines freight rates.
Right.
There's not a shortage on freight or anything like this. You got abundance of guys. Like, say for instance, if I'm in Georgia or like over here in Atlanta, if I do a 200-mile radius and you got 700 trucks, dry vans, just with Landstar sitting over there, and that's not counting all the other guys that are empty.
Right.
Well, you put the power into the agents or the brokers' hands. You know, saying, you know, if I go on the load board and I say, okay, there's only 200 loads that are available within 200-mile radius of Atlanta that pay over $2 a mile,
Right.
but you got 700 trucks, but 500 of you guys are going to be sitting,
Oh yeah.
including the guys that are going to get empty the next day.
Right.
So I'd rather go somewhere in a different area where, yes ma'am.
Now we were talking about. Oh, we got run off over yonder a while ago, and so we had to change our locations. Try to find a quiet spot to do this video. And so I think we were talking about the truck a while ago, and now we're moved on. He made a comment about he was at Landstar. This was his second go around. He left Landstar and he came back. So Stan, tell us about that experience.
Okay, I was here from 2009 to 2013. I was young. I was about 26, 27 years old when I first got over here at Landstar. A lot of adjustments that have to be made when a driver goes from being a company driver to an owner operator. And if he's not used to that kind of power, because it is somewhat of a power with having freedom of choice, pick and choose where you run and things
Right.
like that. I was going from making a couple of $100 a week to, you know, making anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500 a week.
Right.
I was young and I made a boatload of money. I pissed every damn dime off. I didn't know what I was doing. I couldn't tell me nothing. So you go through the motions, and then I had a death in the family that kind of pushed everything over around 2012. Didn't really know how to cope with it. So, but before that, I was losing my butt. You know, not so much of not making the money, but not being disciplined with the money. So I left in 2013, and then I came back June 2015. Now, between that time period, I dealt with John Krishner for 17 months, and then I did specialize over at ATS for about 6 months. I would never do that again. The only way that I would leave Landstar is if I got my own authority. That's
Right.
the only way that I would leave. Some guys have bad misconceptions about Landstar. Most of them hear horror stories, you know, from guys that either got terminated or they couldn't get on.
Well, they just couldn't handle it and handle dispatching themselves.
Yeah, you have to do you have to be.
Right.
This is a self-motivated thing, you know. It's a self-motivated industry.
So if you can't make it Landstar, it's your own fault.
It's your own fault. Yeah. You know, so I think the power of being able to have, pick and choose when you run, where you run, the flexibility to be able to negotiate rates. That's really important. Like I might not haul a load for I might haul a load for 20,000 pounds that may pay $225 a mile, but I won't haul 42 for $225 a mile.
Right.
You know, it'll probably go from $225 to $255. Then if you do a hazmat on there, now it's gonna go up even more.
Right.
Because the more risk I take, the more I need that load to be able to pay. Some guys don't understand that.
Right.
You know, they have the company driver mentality of running a lot of miles. So that's a lot of wear and tear on your equipment. It wears you down. It's rates per mile. It's all about the rates. If the rates are right, you don't need a lot of miles.
Right.
Because this is a marathon. Trucking is a marathon, especially when you buy your own truck. That is a marathon. It's not a 60-second race. I know a lot of guys in this industry right now that have been driving 35, 40 years, and they don't have a dime saved. They don't have anything. You know, so I always stress to guys the importance of, I know OIDA has they have the retirement thing for drivers to be able to put back money for. Because when you buy your own truck, there's no such thing as 401k.
Right.
That doesn't exist. If you don't have your money in an IRA or invest in blue chips or stocks and bonds, something like that, you won't be able to get out of the truck.
Right.
Another thing guys don't understand is there's no paid holidays in this industry.
No sick days, no vacation.
There's none of that. None of that exists.
The same way. He's a jerk.
Yeah. So basically, you come. You know, even in relationships, one has to understand that when you buy a truck, even you come second.
Right.
You know, like it may be a local going to Venice, Montana, which I don't have a reason to personally go up there, but if it's paying $285 a mile, 15,000 pounds, well, it might be profitable for me to take that truck. Not personally go, you know, it's not like you have a U-Haul behind you. You're not moving up there.
Right.
You're just going to go up there and come on back on out. You might not ever go back up there no more that year.
Right.
But as long as you get what you need. Most guys don't do profit and loss. They have no earthly idea on where they at. I always do profit and loss myself. I don't pay a CPA to do that. I pay them to prepare my taxes.
Right.
The receipts touch my hands first, so it's my responsibility.
Right.
Not for me to pass it to someone else. So I always tell guys, you know, priorities. It's a business. Whether you got one truck or 50 trucks, it is a business.
Right.
You know, but I made that mistake and I left. Took me 2 years to get back. Lease purchase. I don't have any kids. I've never been married, and I couldn't even finish it. So I give any props to any guy that can actually finish the lease purchase,
right.
and the truck be worth anything when they finish.
Right.
You know, so I give them all the props in the world. I just couldn't do it.
Hold on a second, phone call coming in. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed my first ever interview. I think it went pretty well. We had a really good person there to interview. He did a fine job. Maybe I should write down a list of questions I should ask in the future, but all in all, I feel like it's a pretty good interview, so we'll get that posted for you. And apologize about the ending. We got interrupted and never got to resume the interview. So there's what you got. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me a like, a thumbs up. Let me know if you want some more of that type of thing. We can try to find candidates across the country there to interview on occasion. So let me know what you guys thought about that. If you liked it, you hated it, could live without it. You know, but don't worry, we'll continue to do our driving and as I like to refer to, idiotic ramblings. I know you guys are getting on to me for that, but anyway, so there's that. See you. Okay guys, we got cut off a while ago. Got run off out of our parking spot. We're going to finish our interview here with Mr. Stan. Not sure where we left off at. But now you made a mention a while ago that you was at Landstar, then you left and you came back to Landstar.
Yeah.
So what prompted you to leave and what prompted you to come back? They told him to hit that door right there. I'd say he's got it. He's got it pretty good. I've got the spot in here, man. Let me put this camera down. You guys, see, I need a tripod, you know? Tripod, that way I can set this thing up. Maybe watch this guy doing his thing. You good? Oh yeah, he got it in there. Let's check. pretty tough hole to hit. Definitely pull up in here. It's a pretty neat little setup they got. So you actually, like a U-shaped building. All the docks in the middle. Okay, so I think this is a 2015. I don't know what else gets some questions here in a minute. Good looking truck. We're going to walk around it at daylight. We did the night shot. And now we're going to do a daylight. The first time using this camera for walking. Good looking trailer, man. I love that trailer. You got the matching fenders. On the truck and the trailer. Good looking outfit, isn't it? Ross Hoss. That's what I'm talking about. We're in the midst of all these tailgaters to the Georgia game. They're in the marshalling yard. I like how he has his name back here on the back. I need to do that on mine, don't I? Stanley Eugene Lanza, trucking, Dallas, Texas. Bad habit. I like that. Let's go up here and talk to this guy, see what. Find out a little bit about him, find out what his story is. I just seen him pull up, man. You gotta appreciate a guy that takes pride in his ride. He's a little dirty today, just like I am, you know. Nasty weather. Of course, I don't think it's dirty. Of course, he thinks it's dirty. Just like I think mine's dirty. Well, we roll, man. They're always dirty. If you're not fresh out of the wash bay, they're always dirty.